Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where OP has to slap her boyfriend. Am I the butthole for refusing to apologize for slapping my boyfriend when he smashed our birthday cake in my face? I'm a 34-year-old woman, and my boyfriend Charles is 38, and I celebrate our birthdays together. This year, I reserved a small private room at a restaurant, and we invited 11 people. 4 of them are my local friends. The rest are his family members. I wanted to celebrate a new achievement in my career and thought that it would be great to just splurge a little and get some delicious food. So we had access to the menu, drinks, and our cake. I'd agreed to pay for half the food, even though I rented the small space myself. The space was paid for in advance, and the food was paid for at the end, like in any restaurant. We had issues last year because I felt that he was doing low-effort things while I always did my best to give him a nice birthday celebration. We have an income gap, but it wasn't even about money. I was making less money last year, and I still made things work for him. So this year, he took care of inviting people, paid for the cake, and got me a spice rack as a present, which I loved. I made myself pretty, got my eyebrows and eyelashes done, and had my hair done. We were told to pose and pretend to blow the candles, because I didn't want to blow out germs on the cake. Then we each had a picture alone with the cake. When it was my turn, I was holding the cake when my boyfriend pushed my face towards the cake, so I tried to fight it. His family started cheering, and he arched over my body and forced me to bend over until my face smashed the cake. My friends tried to get him off me, and he resorted to plastering cake and frosting on my hair. I don't need to describe the mess because I'll never be able to end this post. But I ended up slapping him when he attempted to do it again. His mother got up, and she got into an argument with one of my guests. I had to cross the main floor with cake all over my face to use the restroom. When I looked in the mirror, I had cake on my neck, and my blouse had red and blue coloring that didn't come off. I had to wash my face and get my hair in a bun because it looked less messy that way. When I came back, his family were all long faces. I told him that what he did was unacceptable, and he said that it was just a joke, that everyone's done it for ages, and that me slapping him just ruined my image in front of his family. I started crying and gathered all my stuff to leave. I notified him that he should pay for himself and his guests. My friends insisted on paying for their own food, but I refused, and we ended the night right there. My friends wanted to treat me to having dinner elsewhere, but I wasn't comfortable with my appearance. They ended up sending me the money that I spent, and that broke my heart. Charles had to pay for half of the remaining bill and got charged a cleaning fee. I still love him, but I'm clear that I'll never be able to forgive him. We talked about it, and I ended things. He's convinced that I never loved him. He acknowledged that what he did was wrong, but is adamant that his family hates me for slapping him and that it's my fault. I told him that he ruined not only our birthday, but also my way to celebrate my career milestone. I've worked very hard to get where I am, and that his behavior showed me what my future will look like. And that I'm sorry to say it, but he was so aggressive and so focused on making his family laugh at my expense that I just realized he's not good enough, and that I've lost my confidence to be seen with him in public, because I don't know what else he'll pull out of his butt. He says he paid for that cake, that he's not saying that it was okay to smash it, but it's not like I paid for anything. He wants me to apologize to his mom, but I refused. Also, I'm not proud of my reaction. We've never had any physical altercations. He says his mother feels humiliated because of what I did, and that she's been struggling with mild depressions for years. I didn't know that. And I came off as violent. Am I the butthole for refusing? I already blocked him. Am I alone in this, that I feel like a involuntary face cake smash is on the same level of violence as a face slap? Those two feel pretty comparable to me. So why are people getting so upset about the slap, but not upset at all about the face smash? Am I alone here? I might be alone here. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your boyfriend and his mom 2 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for telling my dad's wife, I'm sorry, but she's not my mom? I'm a 16-year-old guy, and I was the product of what is pretty much a friends with benefits type relationship between my dad, who was 33 at the time, and my mom, who was 22 at the time. My mom didn't want to be a mom, yet my dad didn't want my mom to abort. From what little I've been told, there was an agreement. My mom would leave, my dad would raise me on his own, but if she wanted to, she could come back into my life whenever. The first 7 years of my life were just my dad and I. He didn't date any other woman. It was just us two and his family. I remember my mom would send me gifts on my birthday and Christmas with letters attached. I remember members of her family doing the same. When I turned 7, my mom came back and I started spending time with her. She would take me to parks, zoos, and aquariums. I also met her family. I loved this, although I now know that my dad didn't like the fact that my mom randomly showed up out of nowhere wanting to spend time with me, although he did soften up to it over time. I still have contact with my mom. I don't see her as often as before, but I still love her and see her as much as possible. There was no conflict due to the situation at all until I was 14, and my dad met a new woman. Andrea and my dad started dating when I was 14, married when I was 15. Andrea brought her 15-year-old boy twins from her previous relationship into her marriage with my dad. I have a good relationship with both of my stepbrothers. I have a decent relationship with Andrea, but 2 things always bugged me. 1, how my dad seemed to rush into marrying Andrea. He proposed to her 3 months into their relationship. And 2, Andrea wanted me to call her mom literally the day I met her. She had 2 reasons for this. 1, I don't have a mom and I need one. 2, she wants our family to be more united. I always just shrugged this off. I got away with it because when my dad married Andrea, it's like he forgot about me completely and didn't care about me. I also felt like it wasn't my place to complain. Then, the context for this post, a year into Dad and Andrea's marriage. Andrea's birthday is coming up. All of us bought her a gift, but she says she doesn't like the physical ones and also said she wants a more verbal gift from me. Last night at dinner, I learned what that was. She asked me if I would say yes to letting her adopt me and she could be my mom. Of course, it caught me off guard. I said, no, I already have a mom. Andrea doesn't like the fact that I talk to my actual mom still. And she said that she's my mom because she's at home with me every day and is married to my dad. Then she called my actual mom a part-timer in my life. I told her, no, I'm sorry, I can't be your son. But even if my actual mom is a part-timer, she was there for me a long time before she was. I received an angry scolding for this from both my dad and Andrea. Andrea specifically has been cold towards me since then. I'm struggling to comprehend this and need to ask anonymously if I was in the wrong here. It seems like Andrea wants the title of being called mom, but isn't really willing to do the hard work of bonding with you and creating that mother-son relationship. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that you don't see her as a mom. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. Andrea and your dad get 1 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for refusing to be my sister's bridesmaid because she chose ugly friends to make herself look better? My sister, who's 27, is getting married and asked me, who's 24, to be one of her bridesmaids. I was excited until I found out who the rest of the bridal party was. Every single one of them is someone she's either not that close to or has made fun of before for being awkward or not photogenic. Some of her actual best friends, the one who she sees all the time, weren't even asked. It felt weird, so I asked her why she picked this group. She kind of laughed and said, "You'll understand when it's your wedding. You don't want people who will outshine you in your own pictures." I just stared at her. I asked, "So you picked them because you think they'll make you look better?" She rolled her eyes and said, "It's not that deep. I just want to feel confident that day, and I'm allowed to be a little selfish for my wedding." That rubbed me the wrong way. I told her I didn't want to be part of a bridal party built on tearing other people down, even subtly, and that she should have picked people she actually cares about. Now she's calling me judgmental and sensitive, and our mom says I'm being too idealistic and I should just support her. But I feel like going along with it makes me complicit. Also in the comments, OP adds this: "She's always been like this. I'm rather curvy, and she's never failed to shame me for it. She's a typical model-esque skinny person, and she got a lot of attention growing up. She's beautiful, no doubt. But yeah, I have a good-looking partner, and she's subtly hinted that he could do better than me. I don't see what she has to be so insecure about. She's objectively good-looking. As for my appearance, I like the way I look. I'm comfortable with it. I just don't see why she feels the need to bring others down to make herself feel better. Because, as they say, OP, beauty is only skin deep. So I think you'd be fine to distance yourself She can invite whoever she wants, but it's up to the invitees to decide if they want to attend or not, or to be in the bridal party or not. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your sister 1.5 out of 5. Am I the butthole for telling my wife that she can't cook? I'm a 29-year-old guy, and I've been with my wife, who's 28, for 8 years. And meals are just about the only place of contention in our marriage. But I'm scared she's going to kill someone one day. We split the cooking in our house 50-50. But when she cooks, I feel like I have to watch her like a hawk. She undercooks just about everything, especially meat. And no matter how many times I try to politely correct her, she claims I'm being picky. For example, every time she makes rice, I just can't convince her that it's 1 part rice to 2 parts water. She always says, "Are you sure? That seems like a lot of water." Or, "Maybe that's how you like it, but I don't want it so mushy." The package and Google won't convince her either, and I just swallow my pride and eat crunchy rice every time. It's like that with everything. Pasta, veggies, bread, meat. The thing is, I wouldn't care so much if it was just me, but she always wants to cook for our friends. She really prides herself on her cooking and wants to make everything herself. I just trail behind her, trying to make sure it's all edible, but there's usually a few dishes that end up drastically oversalted or undercooked. Our friends will politely eat, but I notice they've been coming to fewer and fewer invitations for dinner. Things all came to a head the other night when she went to put some chicken in the oven as I was hopping in the shower. When I came out, she pulled the chicken out and said dinner was ready. I was skeptical and told her it had only been like 10 minutes. She said she pan-seared it first, so it was fine, but when I came to look, the sides were literally pink. I snapped a little and told her she's going to kill someone one day from serving them raw meat. Can't you see that it's pink? That's food safety number 1. She said she thought it was done and it's not her fault. Her mother never showed her how to cook chicken growing up. I then told her, "Well, you're almost 30. That's no excuse for not knowing how to cook at all." Needless to say, she was pretty upset with me, and I probably could have been nicer. But I've been nice about it for 8 years, and nothing has changed. Am I the butthole? OP, my friend, you've been eating crunchy rice and crunchy pasta and pink chicken for 8 years. I'm on your side on this one. I guess the easy solution is she stops cooking and you cover all the cooking and she takes over some other chore like dishes to compensate. Because at this point, I can't tell if she's stubborn or just really, really stupid. In any event, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your wife 1 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for bringing a much older guy to Easter dinner after my dad left my mom for someone close to my age? I'm an 18-year-old woman, and I moved out at 15 when I got into a boarding school abroad. When I was 12, my 45-year-old dad cheated on my 43-year-old mom with a woman who was 20 at the time. They ended up divorcing, and he's been with his mistress ever since. She's only a few years older than me, and for the past few years, she's been at every family holiday. She's clearly only after his money, but he's too stupid and stubborn to understand. This year for Easter, I flew back home and asked a friend of mine, a 38-year-old guy, to come with me and pretend to be my boyfriend just for a few days at home. After dinner, my dad pulled me aside and told me he felt uncomfortable with the situation. I told him I didn't do anything wrong and that after him, love has no age. He told me that I ruined everyone's Easter by being selfish and bringing someone his age to dinner. I flew back to school, but now I'm getting messages from a few relatives saying I should apologize to my dad and break up with my boyfriend. I haven't responded. I don't think that I'm in the wrong because he's made my life uncomfortable since the moment he cheated on my mom. Also, OP clarifies that her adult friend is from her book club. She said, when I had no friends in the new country, he would buy me dinner and actually spend time with me. And he's recently divorced from his high school sweetheart. So he would have spent Easter alone anyways. Therefore, I decided to take him with me and show him around Europe. I don't understand how someone can be so hypocritical and at least not understand they're being that hypocritical. How can you be that clueless? How can her entire family be that clueless? OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your cheating dad 3 out of 5 buttholes. That was rSlash Am I the Butthole? And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.